Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, April 13th through Sunday, April 19th, 2020. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. Just a reminder that we are now in a new month, the month of April, so be sure to go onto my YouTube channel to watch the monthly angel card reading. For the month of April, it gives us an overview of what the energetic vibration of the month is, the astrological highlights of the month, as well as messages from our angels and guides. Also, the new Empowered Voices video podcast with myself and Kathy Munson, Psychic Medium, is also going to be out, actually was also out, on Saturday, April 11th. So if you are at all interested in connecting with Kathy and I to see what is going on in the collective and hear what the answers to your questions are, then please tune into that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our stones of choice for this week. Now, the first stone of choice is a beautiful garnet limestone. Okay, the garnet limestone is a spiritual stone of psychic properties. It helps to create change in one's life and bring emotional healing in one's life. And it also assists in attracting one's soulmate or love interest into the life. Okay, your second stone of choice. This one's called danburite. Okay, and it looks like clear quartz, but it's actually, it's almost like a window quartz as well. It's got this kind of sliver of energy, crystalline energy going on, but this is danburite. And the danburite is a stone of peace and freedom. It helps to dissipate stress in one's life, and it's a powerful heart chakra stone. So this can help us to also let our light within shine out into the world. And then your last stone of choice is, if I can pick it up, Eudolite. And that's spelled, just so that you know, some of you sometimes ask me how to spell a stone. This is Eudialyte, Eudolite. The Eudolite helps to bring synchronicities into our life, bring synchronicities to occur within our lives so that we can pay attention to what those synchronicities are. Helps to clear old stagnant energies from the heart chakra as well as from the root chakra and the sacral chakra. Now, in clearing away those old energies, heart chakra is related to relationship or emotions, the root chakra to our issues of security, including finances, and the sacral chakra is our sexuality center as well as creative self-expression. This also helps to increase creativity, and it helps one to find their life path or life purpose. So again, your stones of choice are the garnet limestone, the danburite, or the Eudolite. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the astrological energies for this week. We start out on Monday the 13th and Tuesday the 14th. It's actually very early in the morning hours Pacific time that this happens on Tuesday the 14th, but we're going to feel it on Monday as well, as it's coming together and starting to intensify in the connection. And this is with the Sun challenging Pluto. Now, the Sun right now is in the sign of Aries. We're still in that sign of new beginnings and planting new seeds, that first sign of the zodiac. And the Sun in that initiative sign of Aries, that take charge sign of Aries, is challenging Pluto, the planet of power. Some say power and control, death and rebirth, transformation, transmutation. And so with Aries in that strong sign, because the sun rules our sense of self-identity. You know, it's our personality projected out in the world, our creative self-expression and our identity. It's in that sign of Aries that rules our sense of self and self-identity, confidence, courage. And it's coming together in a challenging square aspect to Pluto. So there may be some power and control issues that start to brew with people in our lives or even within ourselves. So I would just definitely pay attention to people being triggered, if you will, and overexerting their sense of authority. And this is not just on a personal level, but in the collective level as well. I think there's actually a couple of things happening here this week to where there might be a rise within power and control issues out there. And this is really about us owning our power and taking our power back or being empowered. Again, the sun is in Aries. And we might as well talk about on Wednesday, the sun in Aries will then challenge or square Jupiter. And both Pluto and Jupiter are in the sign of Capricorn right now. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion, so it expands and makes things bigger when it's touched by another planet or when it touches a planet. And Jupiter also rules our belief systems. Now, Jupiter, we know, is the planet of blessings, abundance, and prosperity, but here we have it in a challenging aspect with the sun. So because Jupiter and Pluto are just coming off of their connection as of April 4th, 2020 is when the first Jupiter-Pluto connection happened. Jupiter expanded this energy of power and control. It expanded the energy of transformation, transmutation, regeneration. It expanded the energies of death and rebirth within our lives. And the sun, again, is challenging both Pluto and then Jupiter, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so we might have an expanded experience or expanded energies that deal with our own beliefs about our power or beliefs about power in general out there in the world, people that are in power, systems that are in a position of power. So there will definitely be some things coming up that is asking us or gently pushing us, or maybe not so gently pushing us into this energy of taking back one's power. Now, also on Tuesday, in the midst here of the sun in Aries, first challenging Pluto and then challenging Jupiter, Mercury is the planet of the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, and how we communicate, or our inner communications and outer communications. Mercury is in Aries as well right now. So it's a little bit more assertive and or aggressive or self-confident in its communication styles than it was when it was in Pisces for quite a long time because of that retrograde, right? When Mercury was in Pisces, since about mid-February or so, it had a different flavor as far as our own inner thoughts and what was going on an internal communication level, and then how we were expressing to other people. Now it's in Aries. Now it's more assertive. Now it's more take charge. It's more, if you want to say, succinct and bold. And it's coming together with Chiron, the wounded healer, on Tuesday and into Wednesday, okay? And Chiron brings up those wounds within, in Aries, within our sense of self, self-identity, self-confidence, courage, leadership ability, all of those things that are ruled by Aries. So with Mercury coming together with Chiron on Tuesday and into Wednesday, I feel like communications with other people might activate those wounds within us. Okay, it's going to activate those wounds regarding our sense of self or our sense of confidence. Now, we can also be the activator. It's also through our own words that we might activate other people's wounds, whether we mean to or not, whether that's conscious or subconscious or unconscious. So just know that people might be a little bit more sensitive to what we're communicating, and we might be more sensitive as far as our ideas and our thoughts and our belief systems with that connection. I also, for some reason, think that there's messages from the past that are coming up. So old communications with people in our lives that are being revisited, or some sort of past life wound situation maybe coming back in and showing itself. I feel like that also is a possibility. On Friday the 17th, Mercury in Aries, actually let's say Friday and Saturday, the 17th and 18th, Mercury is going on to make what is called sextile aspects to first Venus in Gemini on the 17th, and then to Mars in Aquarius on the 18th. Now, Venus rules relationships, love, it rules money, finances, it rules the divine feminine energies, and Mars is the warrior planet, the activator planet. He is the planet of energy and action and forward movement. Gemini is in the mutable sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. Now, Mars is in the fixed air sign of Aquarius. So they both have something to do with being social, communication, networking, reaching out to others. You know, both Gemini and Aquarius has that feeling of wanting to kind of gather and gain more new information or communicate it or have new ideas, etc. And with Mercury in Aries, the planet that rules ideas and thoughts and communications, touching off first Venus and then Mars, I feel like there could be a flurry of activity here, a lot of possibilities in networking with other people, connecting with groups of like mind, coming up with new ideas of how to get the word out, so to speak, whatever that word might be for you. Maybe it's for the betterment of humanity, maybe it's messages coming in from other people or a work situation or career situation or maybe even family situations. Maybe it's about money and finances, since Venus rules money and finances. But there's definitely some positive movement forward, at least potentially, because with the sextile aspect, it's an aspect of opportunity, meaning that you have to be aware of the opportunity, look for the opportunity, and then act on the opportunity. So make sure that Friday and Saturday especially, you're paying attention to the synchronicities, you're paying attention to what's being said, paying attention to the messages from spirit or other people, if you will, any kind of connections that brings in some sort of information. And then on Sunday the 19th, the sun is moving out of Aries now and into the sign of Taurus. Okay, so now it's moving out of fire sign Aries, about initiation, new beginnings, and it's moving into Taurus, which is practical, grounded. It's an earth sign. It is about manifestation. So it's about slow movement forward by taking the steps appropriate in order to build something. Taurus likes to build and manifest something, but it's with determination, perseverance, and patience. So now the sun is going to highlight those energies, and Taurus also rules our personal resources, like money and finances, but also like time and effort and other resources that might come to us or come to our aid, potentially from other people or situations or circumstances. So look for that shift to occur at the end of the week, and then of course the sun will be in the sign of Taurus for about the next month, right? That's its normal movement. All right, so let's take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. So again, this is from the Syrian Starseed Tarot. I haven't used this deck for a while in a weekly reading. I use it quite often, if not most of the time, in the monthly readings, but I decided and was guided to use it for this weekly reading. So the 3 cards actually came out as 4, so the first card actually has 2 cards to it. Let's take a look at that first one. Okay, so we have the 10 of Flames. Now the 10 of Flames is like the 10 of Wands in the traditional tarot, and this talks about feeling like we're carrying a heavy weight. And you know, this is the flame is the suit of spiritual, so we're carrying a heavy weight spiritually speaking, and maybe we're carrying a heavy weight physically and financially speaking too. I mean, who knows? But this is about feeling burdened and feeling like we're, you know, sometimes honestly this feels like we're struggling and we're burdened and we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, so to speak, and we're needing to move forward, but we're feeling heavy, we're feeling weighed down. We don't feel like we're moving very easily or quickly through something. And you can see this person that has one of the 10 wands, or one of the 10 flames here, in his hand, and he's lighting the way up the stairs to this light here at the end of the staircase, or at the top of the staircase, or at the end of the tunnel. So there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And so ask for your angels and guides, ask for spirit to light your way, or you light your way, because you have an inner light, right? You have an inner light, you have an inner creativity, you have an inner confidence that you can bring out. And this is part of that Sun square Pluto, to empower yourself, to own your power, and to move into that sense of ease, or being more assertive or self-assured. Now, again, we're starting out the week with some heavy energies. So it might feel like, again, we're struggling, although it doesn't look like he's struggling too much. He's actually getting up the stairs. But remember, he's carrying this heavy pack on his back with all of these wands or flames in it. But he is headed in the right direction, and he's headed towards the light. Now, let's see what the second card is that came out with this first card. Okay, we have another 10. This is the 10 of orbs. This is like the 10 of swords in the traditional tarot. Now, this is the suit of the mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our belief systems. Just like that Sun challenging Jupiter, and Jupiter rules our belief systems, we might feel challenged in what we're thinking. We might feel challenged in what we're believing to be true for us. Again, these two cards go together, and they're both the 10. So we're nearing the end of something. You know, the 10 is the last of the minor arcana before we get to the court cards, the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. But this 10, even though we're getting to the end of something, we're also feeling very heavy, very burdened, both spiritually and mentally, and maybe even emotionally, although neither one of these is a cups card. But we're feeling like a lot of chaos here in the mental realm, a lot of things swirling around, a lot of things coming at us, and feeling, again, maybe a little bit of negativity, maybe a little depression, maybe a little anxiety, maybe a little frustration. It's kind of what the 10 of swords oftentimes feels like. And you can see this person is kind of hiding his head in the bed or on the pillow, face down, and not wanting to really look at or interact with some of that energy, just wants to kind of hide away, and is feeling, again, pretty tired and heavy and burdened, and just wanting to rest, just wanting to just take a break. And maybe that's something that you need to do, is just kind of rest, take a break, take a day off, take a time out, and recoup your energy, kind of rejuvenate your energy on an inner level. Now let's take a look at what the next card is, and see if things will lighten up a little bit as we move throughout the week. Okay, so now we have Major Arcana number 12, the Hanging Man. Of course, this is like the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. And the Hanged Man is about feeling like you're a little, I want to say like stagnant. The Hanged Man is always shown, just as it is here, hanging upside down. Typically it's from a tree branch. In this case, the Hanging Man is hanging within a pendulum, but he's inverted and hanging upside down by one leg even. Now this means a couple things. One is that we have to have patience, because things might be at a standstill. Situations and circumstances might not have any good movement forward right now, or we're feeling like we need to, again, just kind of be in the present moment, be in the here and now, allow things to kind of unfold as they will. The Hanging Man is also about looking at something from a different perspective. And again, because he's hanging upside down, when we put ourselves upside down, we see the world from a whole different vantage point. Okay? Some things that we saw as we were standing upright, we're not going to see necessarily if we're hanging upside down. Or we're seeing something new and different when we're hanging upside down. Or we're seeing things, again, from a different vantage point, viewpoint, or perspective when we're hanging upside down. So we're needing to take a look at whatever's happening in our lives, whatever situations and circumstances, whatever might be going on within relationship matters. We need to look at it from a different perspective, because there's a higher perspective involved here. Now you can see in this particular rendition of the card, the Hanging Man is in a meditative state here. He's in a contemplative state, as he normally is in most of the other renditions, but in this rendition, his crown chakra is lit up. So he's truly in this internal, contemplative, meditative state, looking at things from a higher spiritual perspective, having higher spiritual awareness as he's looking at the big picture from a different vantage point, okay? He's not looking with his physical eyes because his eyes are closed. He's looking with his spiritual eyes as to why are the circumstances and situations, maybe in the collective of humanity, maybe in the personal life, why are they unfolding the way they are? Why are things happening the way they are? But he's looking at it from a spiritual vantage point. And he's tapping into his higher soul self, and he's tapping into the God mind, and he's tapping into information from the higher levels with the angels, the guides, the archangels, the ascended masters. And he's taking a pause, he's taking a break. And, you know, even this pendulum here in this particular rendition of the card can be significant, because the pendulum, or a pendulum, is usually, but not always, made up of some sort of crystal or crystalline energy. You know, we can have a quartz crystal pendulum or amethyst pendulum. This one almost looks like it's a smoky quartz pendulum. The smoky quartz has that energy of bringing us into a higher energy state or a higher energy awareness, but at the same time grounding and focusing the energies, staying grounded with that smoky energy of the smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is also a good purifier and transmuter of lower vibrational energies. So maybe this is a message for you to get out your smoky quartz, hang on to it, carry it around, sleep with it under your pillow, make sure that it's cleansed first. You can simply do that by running it under cold water, setting it in the sunlight for a day or two, or placing it with a citrine overnight to kind of cleanse and purify the energies. But that transmuting effect of the smoky quartz may actually be helpful for you to gain a clearer perspective and a higher perspective of what's transpiring around you or within your life right now. Now let's take a look at, as we get towards potentially the end of the week. It doesn't always flow like that from beginning to end, but oftentimes. Okay, and the last card is the Six of Orbs. This is like the Six of Swords, the Six of Air in the traditional tarot. And this is actually one of the Swords cards that has a more positive feeling to it, a more positive indication to it. The Six of Orbs here looks like there's a dolphin here swimming in the water. There's 6 orbs kind of circling around the dolphin fin. You can't actually see the dolphin's head, but you can see his fin. And he's submerging himself there in the water. He's moving forward, if you can see. You can see that the water all around him is kind of splashed up, so that indicates that there's movement here. So there's movement with our thoughts, there's movement with our belief systems, there's movement with our communications, and in a positive direction. The 6 is a very balanced number, meaning that we're becoming more balanced now as we near the end of the week, that we have maybe new thoughts and ideas that are positive as we near the end of the week. Our communications with other people, if they were a little rocky in the beginning of the week, should start to smooth out. We should have an opportunity here to be able to communicate and move forward into a more positive state of beingness with the people in our lives as well, or just bringing our own state of our mind into more of a positive, glass half full and beneficial place or beneficial perspective here. All right, so that was a good reading. Let's go ahead and see what our special message card is, depending on your stone of choice. Okay, so the people that chose the garnet limestone. Okay, I'm just going to close my eyes here and shuffle the deck. Garnet limestone people. Those who chose garnet limestone, what is their special message card? Okay, they said enough shuffling. Garnet limestone people. I'm going to choose a card here for you. Okay, and 2 cards came out, and I'm going to go ahead and take both of those cards for you. The first card was Blast, which is a great card, right? And it's master number 22 here. So master number 22 is about building a solid foundation, creating something, manifest something in our life. And whatever it is it's going to bring great blessings to us. We have a beautiful little fairy here. She's traveling in some sort of pod across the starry night sky, even though it doesn't look like it's nighttime, but you can see the stars around here. So there's some sort of blessing or feeling of being blessed that is going to come into our lives, or into your life, those of you that chose that garnet limestone. Let's take a look at the second card that came out with it. And the second card is the number 40. Interestingly enough, that master number 22, if we reduce it down, equals a 4, and then we get card number 40, which is also a 4. So there's definitely an energy of manifestation here, bringing something into form, focus, grounding, organization, persistence, determination, paying attention to details, building something. This is the co-create card. So I feel like there's blessings coming in, and it's a co-creative process. Maybe the co-creative process is with the universe, with spirit, with God source energy. As co-creator, we're creating our own reality. Maybe the co-creation is with other people as well. Master number 22, the 2 signifies other people in our lives, partnerships, relationships, to where we're co-creating something together, usually with that master number 22 energy for the benefit of humanity. So I feel like this is a very positive indication that even though your gifts, talents, and abilities with someone else might be very different, you can still come together in this partnership energy and co-create these wonderful blessings, both for yourselves personally and for the collective of humanity on a higher level. Okay? This can also be about partnership as well on a romantic level, that we're here, we're coming together with other souls of like mind, or another soul on a romantic level, although I think this is also business as well as romantic partnerships. But there is a possibility to where we're going to come together with someone that kind of balances out our energies, to where we can co-create on some level. If it's not on a business level, then we're co-creating on a more emotional, spiritual level with this new soul that comes in. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the Danburite, all right, Danburite people, what is the special message for Danburite? Danburite. Special message for Danburite people. And I just shuffle until they tell me to stop. So Danburite people, special message card for Danburite is, ooh, I like this card too. This is number, I don't even see the number on this card. This is, oh yes, there it is. Number 20. This is imagine, okay? The number 20, the 2 energy is about peace and harmony and balance and imagination. And it's got an intuitive quality to it, and the card itself does say imagine. The 0 is the protection of the universe, guiding that balance, guiding that peace within you, guiding that harmony, guiding that partnership, because the 2 is all about relationships as well. So there can be a relationship component here. Maybe the imagine piece is that you are looking for that relationship to come into your life, and you need to visualize and imagine it first. Use your imagination. See it clearly in your mind. See the qualities that you want the person to have. Not necessarily the details of what the person looks like, because you don't want to limit the universe, but you want to clearly imagine the type of partnership that you desire, the type of qualities your partner is going to have. But this is also about, on another level here, just imagining and visualizing what it is that you want to create in your life. You know, it may have nothing to do with partnership energies here. It might be about creating peace and harmony and balance within your own life. So imagine the beauty around you. I mean, this is a beautiful kind of picture here with the moon, which rules our intuitive nature. And there's a lot of this beautiful kind of blue energy and rays coming up from, I don't know, either the ground or the water, you know, but it has that kind of enlightening, imagination, fantasy-like almost blessing kind of feeling to it. So there's, again, if you imagine and use your powers of visualization and imagine the reality that you want to live in, then that is going to be coming into your existence. And that's how the power of visualization and manifestation works, right? But we are all in the collective right now and dealing with what we're dealing with on this planet. That might have gone by the wayside a little bit, and maybe some of the fears and anxieties have taken over a little bit, and some of the worst case scenarios are operating in your head. We want to change that image. We want to change those visions and imagine the beauty, imagine the blessing, imagine the peace, imagine the light coming to, streaming to you and to the planet to bring forth again the manifestation of the beauty, peace, balance that you want to experience. Okay, for those of you that chose the Untitled, okay, so Untitled people, what's the special message? Untitled. Special message for Untitled. Untitled people. Okay, Untitled. Special message for Untitled people is, ooh, that's a nice card too. Not that there's any real bad cards in here. And exchanging, yeah, that's what it says, exchanging gifts. And it has this beautiful fairy within a box. She's coming out. First of all, I want to say that you're coming out into the open. You're allowing your gifts to come out. You're allowing your gifts to shine. You're not enclosing them or hiding them anymore in this box. And then you can also see that there's a cat here outside the box. And the fairy's reaching for the cat's reaching for the fairy. The two very different creatures, right? The fairy of the fairy realm and cats of the cat, Leonin realm or whatever. And this again shows two different kind of energies coming together and exchanging their energies, exchanging their gifts with one another. Now maybe this is just a one-on-one exchange of gifts. Maybe this is exchanging your gifts and bringing them out into the world together, okay? But this is clearly a very positive and beneficial card. The number associated with it, I heard some of you asking, what's the number? The number is 27. And the 2 is about one-on-one relationship. The 7 is a very spiritual number of getting in touch with your higher soul self, for one. And if you add the 2 and the 7, that's a 9 energy. And the 9 is about unconditional love, compassion, humanitarian efforts, creative efforts, artistic efforts. And this has almost an artistic feel to it too. There's like this pink, and you know, I just like the color pink. You know, Libras like pink, but we have pink and kind of a mauve color here. So it has this heart chakra kind of feeling to it, you know, coming out, exchanging your gifts in a energy of unconditional love and compassion and peace and balance and community with one another. And this could also, I feel like they just said, making new friends too. So I feel like you're making new connections and making new friends. And again, we're kind of, you know, in some ways, us in the world, we're more staying at home now because of the situation, but it doesn't mean you can't connect on the telephone, on email, through text, through Zoom, through Skype, getting on an online chat, you know, whatever it might be. Doing an online live Facebook thing like my friend Kathy Munson and I have been doing the last 2 or 3 weeks here. So I feel like reaching out to other people here is indicated, meeting new people, befriending new people, feeling confident and self-assured with the exchanging of your gifts, with the tuning in and exchanging of those gifts also seems to be an indicated message. So I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your comments, for sharing my videos, for subscribing to the channel, for checking me out on Facebook, and for checking out Empowered Voices, Sacred Soul Empowerment, also my website. Thank you for all of your love, support, kindness, and assistance. I love each and every one of you so much, and sending you all lots of love and light. Namaste.